This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking basketball, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles.
25 Whistles.
What's up, everybody? Yeah. Let me blow the whistle this time. Come on.
Blow
Ooh.
it, dude. It's golden.
Oh, the half. Is that because Arkansas's not in it?
No, it's just
Oh, that's what it is.
I got a canker sore.
Oh.
Are the herbs?
No, it's not a cold sore. It's a canker sore.
Don't get that going.
Okay.
Anytime I
just
get
checking.
mouth trauma, like dentist, and I will use a CPAP, and so I have a new one, and it like rubbed my lip, and so I get a little mouth trauma. I get the inside, get the little cuts.
Dude, have you seen the actual
Sucks.
cut?
No, I don't like looking at it.
I don't either, and it's crazy when you have one.
so tiny.
Because I have something in my mouth right now that I haven't
Hey.
looked at it.
Har?
Purpose. I haven't looked at it, but I can picture it. It feels like a skin tag is inside my cheek.
Oh no, it's not. That's not that. Yours is like a disease.
I'm dying.
Mine's like a little slit. It burnt. You know, it's a canker sore.
Yeah, I know what that is.
25 Whistles presented by DraftKings. Use the promo code BobbySports when downloading the DraftKings app, and stay tuned. You'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Coming up, we'll sit down with Logan Ryan. We love that dude. Won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots. Played for the Titans. Played for the Bucks. Made a bunch of money with the Giants.
49ers.
And then the 40. I was getting there. God dang, dude, it's the
know.
last team.
I didn't want you to forget them.
I wasn't even done. Like, he went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. Like, why would you jump in like that?
I just want to just covering you, dude. Just covering you.
So we did talk with Logan coming up in just a little bit. Let's get to the tittle tattle.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
With Kevin McCullough Jr. out for Kansas the whole tournament, how early do you think they'll get bounced?
I think they'll beat Samford, which, by the way, I don't know when you're going to listen to this. We're putting this up today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think they'll beat Samford, and they'll play the winner of McNeese and Gonzaga, which I still think they could beat. They're still Kansas, right? And they still have other players that may not be the star that he is, but that can be stars too, or they wouldn't be at Kansas. They have a great coach. I can see them getting to the Sweet 16.
Wow.
I think
dang.
a lot.
Optimist.
No, I know, because I don't give a crap. I'm not an optimist. That means, like, I'm looking at the bright side. I don't have a relationship with Kansas. They wouldn't let us come to their campus and do our show.
I
That's what I'm
know.
saying. Why are you
So-
taking them to the Sweet 16?
I'm not. I'm just giving an impartial, trying to be objective. I still think they can get to the Sweet 16 by winning those 2 games. Gonzaga's not who Gonzaga is in our minds. They're still good, but they're not that powerhouse team with a couple real good players that go to the NBA. So I think they'll beat Samford. I think they'll probably beat the winner of McNeese Gonzaga. I think they'll probably get to the Sweet 16. McCullough's averaging 18 points a game. I think they can find that, but it wasn't just about how good he was offensively. He is their star.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that didn't know that probably picked Kansas to go a lot further. And I'm not looking at a bracket. I think they're a 4 seed,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
That was already pretty low for Kansas typically.
Yeah, they limped into the tournament.
Yeah. But I think they will go through a little rehab, a little physical therapy.
Oh?
And
Nice.
I think they'll win a couple games. I
Okay.
do. All right, next up.
Following Calipari's comments about not wanting to expand the tournament, how many teams would you like to see in your ideal world in the tournament?
I don't mind how it is now as far as like the 64 teams. However, what I don't like is you win your conference. It's a big deal if you're one of these mid-majors, and all of a sudden you got to go play in a freaking play-in game. Like, that's what I would change. That sucks. Yeah. At-large teams should have to play in the play-in games. You got invited in. You're a 10 seed. You're an at-large. You're at what? That's who should go. The teams that were invited in who didn't win their conference. That's the change that I would make. I wouldn't make it 120.
My
8
gosh.
teams.
Insane.
It would last a year.
Well, it would.
Well, it's 'cause
it
March
would last one more week.
Okay, that's a long time. March Madness already like once.
year?
No, it was. I was being
You just
sarcastic.
started on a that week instead of a Thursday. You started on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, but dude, once like the finals come around, you're a Final Four. It's like, man, it's been a while. Like I'm a little worn out just from like the last 2 weeks.
That's
or
how I
3
feel
weeks.
about NBA playoffs.
Yeah, but even after the first, that's the NBA for sure.
Yeah.
But
That's a
after the
year.
first weekend, then you get to the second weekend, and you're like, dang, we don't have games on all day. This sucks.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah. But the NBA, totally different animal. That's way too long.
Way too long. But that feels the NBA playoffs almost feel like that's the real season.
Yeah.
Just not everybody gets to play.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Only teams that matter.
I'm good with it. I like college football to expand. I like that. I think
Sure.
that should go to 16. I'm good with this. I just don't like that the teams that win their conference don't automatically get in. That's what I would change. You're an at-large. You're the last 4 to get in. You're at-large. Whatever the case is, you're a 10. You go play in the playing game and check back if you win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say. All right, next.
With a number of great coaches in this tournament, if you could play for one, who would it be?
Well, if you're playing for Calipari and Kentucky, it means you're probably going to the NBA.
Oh,
True.
Wow, you thought it that way. Okay. I mean,
Well,
I'm thinking me, who has no chance of going to the NBA. You know, like realistically.
But you also have no chance to play for these coaches. If
Yeah,
we're being realistic.
but what if they give me like a Make-A-Wish and I get to pick one of these coaches? You know what I mean? That's how I was thinking.
Okay, I like it. You come back with your
right.
Make-A-Wish, 'cause that's
Okay.
pretty funny. And I did not think about it that way. I thought the way of like further my career.
Sure.
So let me go. If Calipari recruits me, I'm probably a high 4 or 5-star kid, and I can be one and done and get out to the NBA. Now, that's not because of playing for him, the coach specifically. That's because of the culture he's built, and he only recruits the kids. So Calipari for that reason. But if it were just like who I think I would jive with the most, like the culture I like probably Shaka Smart.
Oh.
Like I like him. I liked him when he was at Texas. And he turned Marquette into a real player. Seems like a guy that can get at you, but also is the opposite of what Belichick is in the documentary. Like can do the opposite too.
And he seems your style. He's got cool like shoes that he wears.
Yeah,
and-
I just feel like he would be
Cool
able,
shoes.
he'd
Yeah,
be able to
he's
have
like Bones a little
a
bit.
range whenever it comes to his coaching style. He could be hard on you, or he could also be like, hey, that was a really great job you did last night. So probably Shaka Smart as a human,
I like that.
but Calipari, because I want to go to the NBA next year.
so
Eddie,
smart.
you're making a wish.
Yeah, I'm not going to the NBA. Don't care about joining a
Apparently
winning
you're
team.
dying soon. Who-
However, though, this team is a winning team and they're pretty good. I'd play for Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl just
Oh, at
seems like
Auburn,
a
yeah.
fun environment.
Yeah.
And whatever he's going to do, he's going to be intense about it. And I'm going to have a blast playing for him. And we'll have barbecues and stuff.
No, you don't want to do that because then he'll
All
get,
right.
he'll get kicked out.
right.
Yeah.
Forget
Yeah,
that.
we don't
Take
like
that out.
I just think, who else would I even just like to play for? The coach at Long Beach State, who's now doing his pressers.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys can ask me a question, because he's been fired, but he's playing in the NCAA tournament
Right,
now because
right.
they won his conference tournament. It's Long Beach State, right? Mm-hmm. His presser was so funny because he's up. He goes, hey, you can ask me whatever you want, but if I don't like it, I'm not answering. I don't even work here anymore.
That's great.
So funny. Yeah. All right, next question.
Last one. After Netflix announced the new series Receivers, if you could watch a documentary on any position in any sport, what would it be?
Any sport? That's a good question. Receivers looks interesting to me because I think they actually have bigger personalities, at least in the past, than quarterbacks often have. Because look at T.O. Look at Chad Johnson. We could keep going. You almost have to be a diva to be a wide receiver. You have to have that mentality of me, because it's one on one or one versus a zone. Where a quarterback, it's really you versus everybody out there, right? That it could be good. Like Devontae Adams is part of that show, though. I don't see him having a huge personality, though, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
He does Taco Bell commercials. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's in his house. He just has to go downstairs to do it.
Right, the guys down there.
Yeah, it's not even that hard to do.
Any sport.
Any
I know.
sport.
Let's just evaluate each sport at a time then. In football,
I like the kickers.
That'd be boring.
No. But that's the thing. Like, we already kind of have an idea.
Okay, so I guess the question is, are we basing it on the celebrity of the position or what the position does? Because it is different, because you would go quarterbacks because they're the most famous. But if it's just like what that position is, what they have to deal with, what's the question?
Quarterback's out because they already did it.
Okay, so we're not doing
So we're
quarterback.
no quarterbacks,
But
no
we
receivers.
get to use the celebrity of the position
but
too.
of the position, yeah.
Okay, well, that's different. Because I was thinking along the lines of like, what would the reality show, how entertaining would that be? So I'm thinking like pitchers would be cool because they're off,
Oh, so
every
he's
day
been
of the
3
week.
days with the Osbournes, Ozzy and the family. The other 3 days, yeah, that's
Right?
it.
So like, what do they do when
Yeah.
the
That's
team's
good,
playing?
but that
I think
counts,
that's cool.
and that's good.
Yeah, I think that's cool. To see the behind the scenes of like their off days.
Yeah, dude, just
Yeah.
messing around with everyone because they're not worried about playing because they're not playing for the next 5 days.
Are you going pitchers?
I'm going pitchers on Netflix.
And
Coming soon.
and they're just sitting there being like, "Hey, what are you doing today? Nothing, bro. I don't have a game till 4 days." from
Spitting
now."
seeds in a cup from a distance.
Okay, in football, quarterbacks can't do receivers. The next most exciting position would probably be linebackers because they're talking and having to be the quarterback of the other side. Like they're calling plays.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
a bit vocal. So if in the football side, I'd probably go with linebackers. But I'm gonna get there. In baseball, what's fun about, and I played first base, is that you talk to other players.
Oh yeah.
So you'd be mic'd up for a lot of those interactions.
And they always talk to the runner. What are they saying?
And then you're also hearing the base coach talk to the runner, but but he's a.
That'd be good.
So like Netflix first base, it's as far as I ever got. 2020 with a girl. So I mean, that's why. Basketball.
Big man. The center. I feel that'd be weird in basketball.
I mean, point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the one. But again, basketball, it's almost, the NBA is almost positionless now. So maybe like basketball, I do like basketball white guy.
Oh, there we go.
Because there's just not as many of them. They're all foreign.
Yeah. Peyton Pritchard.
They're like slow, goofy.
The white dude.
And like they've had to Netflix white guy. Like basketball.
That's funny, dude.
I don't know anything about hockey.
But the goalie in hockey would be cool.
I don't know. Would it? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Never seen his face. They just wear masks.
You're right.
And I get NASCAR. Don't really care. Are there any other sports that would be fun?
Soccer.
Oh yeah.
But they have Okay, I'm gonna go with in basketball. I would do white guy
That's a great one, dude. I'd watch that.
That is interesting.
because
It has to be a European or any white guy.
any white guy.
Okay.
Who's the bald
Yes.
dude who wears the headband? He used to play for the Lakers. Now he's with where's he?
Caruso?
Caruso. He'd
Yeah,
be in
yeah.
there for sure.
Netflix's new series on the NBA. It's Netflix white guy,
I like it.
and they follow 5 white guys.
Yes. And Jason Williams produces it.
Yeah, and their struggle just to keep up.
Yeah.
Like that's what it. Just get it. White people suck. You know, that's
Very,
funny,
very
dude.
good.
I would watch like Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves was talking to JJ Redick on his podcast, and JJ Redick was like, "So, well, what was the deal? Like, you're a white dude." He goes, "Yeah, I know." Like everybody, like at the beginning, was like, "I want to guard him." Like everywhere I went.
Yeah, the easy one.
Yeah, well, I'll guard the white guy. There's also like Larry Bird, that in some of the videos of Larry Bird, he would get offended when they would put a white guy on him, and he would say that to the other team.
Wow.
He was like, "You're gonna put a white guy on me? Are you serious right now?"
That's crazy.
And then he would dominate him, and they'd have to switch off and get a white guy off of him, which is hilarious. By the way, opened the mail yesterday. Random package came in.
Yeah.
Took the scissors, cut the trim. It wasn't from like a break or a merch, and I pulled out a signed Larry Bird jersey.
What?
Well, who sent that?
A guy,
Larry Bird?
No, I wish. But a guy named Phil Becker, who did my podcast and thought it was so funny Eddie signed my ball, that he sent me a Larry Bird signed Boston Celtics jersey.
Wow.
Isn't it funny?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. So I mean, I wore it. I played ball on it yesterday.
You did?
Played pickup at the Y.
No, you
wore
didn't.
it?
Oh, no, God.
Oh.
At the Y.
God.
I
All
was
right,
like-
that's the tittle tattle. There we go.
Stupidest name ever. It's the Tittle Tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app. Use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you a way, and you can't guarantee smiles. In life, you can't guarantee smiles. But what I'm going to do now, I feel pretty strongly about these smiles because I have already loaded up on these smiles. I'm going to give you what I've loaded my smiles up on. It is a parlay. I should just do the Friday games in case people don't get this in time.
Yeah.
Friday.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yep.
Okay. I need to scroll down then. All right, the Friday games. Ready?
Ready.
Because I know what they are already. And they're in the last game on Thursday. They play them at 9, 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah, they play
Must be
late,
those
dude.
West Coast games. Okay.
It's amazing. They start at 11 and like at midnight. It's perfect.
Here we go. Auburn and Yale under 140.
Because they're nervous.
Everybody at the beginning of the game, they're a little tight.
Got the jitters.
Auburn and Yale under 140. Florida and Colorado under 158.5. And Texas A&M and Nebraska under 147.
Under.
Hey, Smile away.
Let's go.
It won't be the same next week because then everybody's like, "Oh, cool, we're in the tournament."
Oh, they're more comfortable
we're
next
normal.
week.
We're like, relax. We're getting in the relaxing taxi and head to the game. If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Okay, now we're going to get over to Logan Ryan. We went to his house to interview him. Best dude ever.
Awesome.
If SpongeBob were singing about him, he'd say, "He's the best dude ever."
Hey, and shout out to Kevin for not freaking out too much. I would thought Kevin would have been real fangirly around him, but he wasn't.
He did spend a little extra time wearing the ring.
Yeah.
He put both of them on and took a picture.
Heck yeah.
I just put one. I was like, "Oh, cool." And Kevin got them both on and took a picture. Super Bowl rings. We flew out to his house in Tampa. He signed with the 49ers late last season. Ended up playing and starting and being a part of the Super Bowl. He's won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots. You can follow Logan on Instagram at Logan Ryan. Here he is. So we're at your house, but it's a lot more than a house. It's like a whole training facility here.
Yeah.
Like we pulled up and your football field is how long? Was it 30 yards, 40 yards?
No, it's I think it's close to 50. Yeah.
So on a 50-yard field, do you train here at the house on that field?
Yeah, pretty regularly. I'm not sprinting 100 yards every route. Most of the time in the game, we're covering 40 yards, 30 yards, 20 yards, a lot of short area stuff. So that's exactly what I need.
There's a pickleball court right next to it, and we're building one in our backyard too. But my wife was like, "Oh, really? We have a pickleball court?" Did your wife give you a hard time about a pickleball court? And then all the time?
My wife was all about it. She's a pickleball player with me. Yeah, we dominate the 30 and up bracket, co-ed league. I'm 33. We just turned 33, so we qualify. I don't care what anyone says. I play my age. And so no, my wife's all about it. She's a former Division I athlete, a softball player, so she's as competitive as me.
Yeah, my wife is a great athlete too, but she just doesn't want to hear the knocking all the time because she knows I'm going to buy one of those machines as soon as it's done.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get your serve.
For sure. Yeah, I'm just going to be returning like crazy with that thing. So yeah, pickleball is a lot of fun. I'm an owner of one of the MLB pickleball teams. Like I have part ownership in one of the teams, and I guess blowing up. Like, would you be one of those athletes? Because we were playing with Matt Holliday, who played in the major leagues for a long time, and he's like touring, playing pickleball. Would you and your wife go play in any of these pickleball tournaments?
I think so. I mean, I love the sport.
Could you get good enough?
I think I'm
as
good
a team.
Enough. Yeah, I think we could. Like, I bought this house in 2020, and we were getting a lot of it renovated. And we had these South African contractors, and they kept telling me, "Mate, you got to come play pickleball. You got to come play." I'm like, "What is pickleball?" I thought it was like squash or something. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So anyway, they take me out there. They run me they beat me 20-0. But anyway, they're teaching me pickleball. I'm like, oh, just like ping pong on your feet, just like this. And I started playing with them weekly, and those guys are really good. And I'm like, in a year, I'm gonna be better than you or whatever. And I don't know where I'm at now compared to them. They probably play 4 days a week. But I realized post-COVID, as we were playing, like the courts were filling up. Then I'm showing up and I got to wait 20 minutes to play, and there's lines, and it's like the old like blacktop days where you had to win and stay on.
The court, yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm building my own. So I went to go do a full court basketball court and try to do like a half pickleball, half basketball thing, and like the price of concrete was like ridiculous at the time. So I was like, we're just going to build a pickleball court.
The price of concrete. Have you looked around to see what else you have here? Like you're worried about the price of concrete?
Man, skyrocketed.
Hey, he's got a TV bigger than my house.
I always try to get a good deal, man. I'm never overpaying for nothing.
How physically, how you feeling after this last season?
Man, I feel great. It helps only playing half a year instead of a full year. I came in there kind of fresh for the most important stretch of the year, Thanksgiving football. And it was really good, man. It was really fun playing with those boys. Niners organization's great. Shanahan's great. So I got nothing but positive things to say, especially about the fan base, too.
Whenever you don't play for the first half of the year and they call and say, hey, come play, do you have to cram to get back in shape? And at the same time, mentally to learn exactly what they're doing because one is as important as the other?
Yeah, I think it's both. I've never done that before. So to me, I just was learning on the fly. Definitely had to do a lot of cramming to get in shape just so I didn't get hurt. So I was running a lot of miles, putting a lot of stuff on my body just so I can handle that. And then mentally, that's always been a strong suit of my game. So I always learn everything from every position in the secondary. I study at corner, then I study at safety. And even though I'm saying, oh, you're only going to play safety, I ended up starting at nickel in the Super Bowl. And I haven't practiced that haven't played it in 3 years and didn't practice it since I was there. So I started practicing the week before the Super Bowl, but I was studied for the position. So when they told me that, I almost was like prepared, like, all right, I at least know what to do. Now I just got to practice doing that. And if you don't know what to do, for any young football player or athlete, if you don't know what to do, you can't do it at a high level. You can't play fast. Doesn't matter how fast you run your 40. You're going to be kind of tip-tongue. You don't necessarily know you have confidence in what you're doing out there.
How would you explain a nickel? And you tell me if my understanding of it is wrong, but I would say nickel is like a defensive back, but also playing linebacker because you're watching for the pass, basically. That could be a bad explanation. What is yours?
Did you get that from Madden?
Basically, yeah. When I go in nickel package, my best defensive backs are playing linebacker, basically, so I can shut down the crossing routes.
Yeah, I agree. I think nickel is a very cerebral position. In terms, you have to do a little bit of everything. You have to be tied into the run game because you're a linebacker if they run the ball. If they pass the ball, you have to cover somewhat like a corner, but you're not as much on an island. You have some more help around you. And then you might have to cover some bigger receivers or tight end bodies, depending what you match your personnel up with. So you have to be strong enough to cover a Kittle or Kelsey. You have to be strong enough to play in the run game. Oh, but by the way, like Keenan Allen and Justin Jefferson, they're putting these guys in the slot every play. So you have to cover the top receivers at times. You have to cover big tight ends. You also have to be able to play in the run. So you have to be a very cerebral position. You have help. You have more help around you than a perimeter corner does, but you got to know how to use your help.
I picture that you get an email with a PDF that goes, this is what we're doing defensively, like a defensive playbook.
Yeah.
Or do they actually mail you a big fat book of 1974 playbook? Like, how does that work?
In 2013, when I got to the New England Patriots, they gave us a big old playbook like that, like an encyclopedia, 600 pages.
Of actual paper.
Of actual paper. Go to section cover 3 page, and guys had highlighters, and attention span's not there anymore for that. And they're like, oh, if you lose that, it's like a $5,000 fine because that's our playbook. So you have to carry that thing in a backpack. Oh, I left it in my hotel. I mean, it was like pressure to have that thing on you at all times. So now we have iPads. Everything's on the iPad. So it'll show you the play. Then I have an actual highlight clip of what the play looks like because it's just lines on paper, and then like the players and the coach are the artists to make those lines look like that. So like a play might say, I have this guy inside leverage, I cover this guy. Cool. You have him unless the running back does a swing route. Now you don't have him, now you have the running back. Cool. Now if the running back does a swing route, your guy goes inside, you have the number one receiver comes inside. So it's like, okay, it started really simple, but there's also like different.
Those feel like defensive checkdowns.
They're all checkdowns, yeah. Every play in the NFL is like, receivers don't have like, on good offenses, they don't have normal routes. They have a comeback route, right? A 15-yard stop, unless it's press coverage, then it's a fade. Unless Aaron Rodgers likes his back shoulder fade at 18 yards. Unless Tom Brady likes that fade at 22 yards, right? Unless he's 10 yards off, now it's a 5-yard hitch. So that same route that he's given can turn into 6 different routes based on the quarterback and the coverage.
Well, hey, so I have a 10-year-old. He started playing tackle football, and first year they stuck him at corner. Like, didn't really know the position, and there were a couple of games where he just blew the coverage, and they scored on him, and he was down the whole day. And I told him, man, cornerback's probably the hardest position on the field in football. But I was just talking. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just trying to make him feel better. Is that true, though?
I think so. I think what you're dealing with nowadays, especially with social media, is like it's so easy to see your mistakes. Like I can cover a guy, your son can cover a guy every single play and do great, and then one play he blanks out, he trips, he misjudges the ball in the air, and it's a 6-yard touchdown. Everyone's like, ha ha, you lost the game, ha ha, you stink, because people don't know who to blame. There's not enough knowledge, and the camera doesn't see what the O linemen are doing or D linemen are doing. So tackle, quarterback, and corner are the most easily exposed positions. For sure. So you have to have a different mindset, kind of don't care mindset a little bit, F-it mentality, and you kind of got to play really smart also to protect yourself in those moments, and you got to be able to focus throughout the whole game because a little lapse like that, a guy can get a step on you.
Knowing what you know now, if you could go back at 12 years old, what position would you play? Again, would it be the same or would you play somewhere else?
Man, I'm really happy with, there's actually two couple answers to that. One, I would play quarterback, because that's where the money's at. And I was a quarterback growing up. So they put the ball in my hands, and I was a spread option, these quarterbacks you see nowadays. But back in the day, when you're 6 foot coming out at quarterback, that's way too small. You're not a traditional quarterback. Now Kyler Murray's about 5'9". So, like, the times have caught up. But a lot of us played quarterback. They took the ball out of our hands because they said, oh, you're a young black kid. You're not going to be a quarterback in the NFL. Who's in the NFL looks like you? So now I think there's so much representation of that. So I think that's that's way better. But also, when I was little, starting at 8 years old, my dad made me play a different position every year. So I started off like, you're going to be a tight end, you're going to catch the ball. Like, we ran the ball every play, I blocked every play. Then they're like, oh, this kid's pretty good. I want to put him at running back. So I played running back. And then I played quarterback eventually. And then when we would blow teams out, my dad put me on the offensive line and let someone else play quarterback. So I learned how to block again.
You played offensive line?
When we were little. 35 or not, when we were up 35 or more, all our skill players went to O-line. The O-line went to running back. The backup quarterback came in to hand him the ball, let them touch it. So we all got to play.
That's cool.
And then on defense, I was a quarterback who also played defense. I never played one side. I played safety. I played linebacker. I played DN. I played corner. So when I got to college and I wasn't playing both sides of the ball, I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like, I get to come off the field? Like, I don't even like, let me go play special teams. Right? I didn't even know. Like, so now I think in the NFL, that's helped me play a lot of different positions. I've played special teams. I've played free safety. I've played strong safety. I played nickel. I played corner. I'm used to playing so many positions when I was little. I learned the game from different perspectives.
When you go into the locker room of a team that's already winning, this last season, you come in halfway through the year, they have their culture already mostly defined.
Yeah.
Did they need what you do, or did they need who you are?
They needed...
like, why do they call you?
They called me because they were trying to win a championship, and they told me they wanted a guy who's done it before, and they didn't want to mess around and check the practice squads. They didn't want to mess around with an inexperienced guy. They knew what they had. They wanted someone to go in there, had the confidence to come off the street and go in there and not mess it up, but also have the belief in their ability. And when I stepped in there the first day, I said, guys, like, I don't have to be here with all due respect. Like, I've made good money in my career. I've done everything I want to do. I have a beautiful wife and kids all the way, but I came across the country to help win a Super Bowl, period. And they were on the same page about that. Like, we're not here to go to the conference championship. We're not here to win a division. Like, we're here to win the Super Bowl. And, like, we made it as far as we could. We didn't win it, but they knew that's what I stepped in to do. I didn't come in to hold the clipboard or to, like, help the younger guys. I came in to help develop everyone to win a championship. That means playing a lot, playing a little. I didn't care. I wanted to do my part, and it ended up having a big part, and I was really honored about that. But they have everything there. Like, walking in, that was one of the most top 2 talented, best culture teams I've been on. I've been on 2 other Super Bowl teams. So that's, compared to one other Patriots team, that was the top 2 team I've ever stepped a building in. So I think, the future's bright there.
The analogy that I'll make in celebrity culture is usually the more famous a celebrity is, the nicer they are, because they're secure. Like the major stars, the massive stars, be it music, acting, they're very secure. They know who they are. They don't have to impress anybody. It's what I would call the soap opera stars, or they have to like prove who they are.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And like they're not that cool because they're a bit insecure because they want to get to that next stage.
Wow, yeah.
Like when you walk into a locker room, I feel like that's the ultimate celebrity. Like they're secure already, and they don't have to treat you a way to show you that, well, you're coming into our place now. The 49ers feel like they're the major celebrity in that they know who they are and they're secure about it. Is that how it felt?
That's how it felt. And that's a great, I never even thought of it like that, because that's how I always, tell the Tom Brady story when I met Tom Brady. He was like the nicest, chillest dude. And like, I didn't even know what to say to him. And he introduced himself to me. I'm like, Mom, Dad, like this dude was so humble. I'd never, because he's such a star. And I think he's very secure. And they're very much like that. I think Shanahan has an environment where he lets Bosa be Bosa. He lets McCaffrey be McCaffrey. Purdy, isn't the most vocal guy, but people know he's a leader on the team. And when I came in on a Tuesday, which is our off day in our world, and a handful of guys being there getting treatment, a handful of guys might get an extra lift in. I'm talking about 75% of the team was in there getting an extra lift in. Like Bosa, Fred Warner, these dudes lift like 4 or 5 days a week. We only have to lift twice. And I'm like, this is the team. Like these guys are on here on their Tuesday when that's their one day out of the building, and they're all in here grinding together. And it's week 14 when your body's run down, tired. All you want to do is get a little break. I was like, yeah, these guys are the guys I like to be around, because that's how I'm wired.
And they welcomed you in?
Yeah, no doubt. Most of them played against me, so there's earned respect there. I didn't have a lot of guys I played with there, so I was kind of an outsider. But I think after like a practice or two, I kind of went out there like practicing against the offense, covering Kittle, covering Christian, making some guys fumble with a peanut punch. They're like, oh yeah, he can play. Like so I was off of that after a week. Then I started practicing with our defense. They're like, yeah, he's got it. And it ended up being a good time.
Logan, you mentioned Tom Brady, but when you played for the Titans, you picked him off.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome.
Yeah.
When you caught that ball, what did it feel like? Was it a little spongy, or was it fully aired?
Yeah, it was a tie game. We were up. We just went up by like, I don't know, like a less than a touchdown. And, there's like less than a minute left or whatever. It's like Brady has one last, Brady, like there's rumors it's probably his last run with the Patriots. And it's like, okay, shoot. I'm not saying I'm scared, but I'm like, here we go again. Like one more stop, we got to get one more against this guy. And you've seen it go the other way so many times. And like one of the first few plays in the drive, we're playing like this prevent type defense. And throws it to Mohamed Sanu, who was my college roommate. And one of our DBs tips it up, and I kind of just have it perfect, and it's kind of went right to me, and I end up scoring with it, and I just look back at the highlight, and Mike Vrabel's like, slide, you should have slide, the game's going to be over. And he's like mad at me for getting a pick six on Brady with like 5 seconds left in the game, because there's that fear, like we gave Brady 5 more seconds, now he's going to score a touchdown and go for 2 and come back and find it. So it was like, I don't even know if he was happy, but nah, it felt so great. Kind of a out of the body experience type thing, and help us, move on, and history repeats itself. And he goes to Tampa the next year and wins the Super Bowl. So I think Brady will thank me for that one.
So this is if they made sports cards now of like a rookie sports card of somebody getting in media, I'd buy yours because you took a question that he was like, is the ball squeezy? Yeah. And you shifted it and turned it to a different compelling story.
He knew I was joking.
Where it didn't even feel like you were running from his dumb question. It felt like that's an interesting story. We forgot that I would buy your rookie card, your media rookie card.
You got a future.
Put that right there.
I appreciate that.
You're going to Hollywood.
There we go.
Idol.
Buy it now.
I was watching Pat Bev, who's one of my favorite athletes right now, playing with the Bucks. And I was watching Pat Bev talk about going when he got called to the Bucks, and he's like, "Yeah, I've had a beef with Dame, but I got to call him and fix that before we start playing."
Yeah.
When you switch teams, has there been anybody that, and I'm not even asking you who it is, but where you got to like call him and be like, "Yo, I know we haven't been good before, but now I'm coming on over. Let's be cool." Or is football not as intimate as basketball because there's only 5 guys on the court at once in basketball?
Yeah, I don't know if it's as intimate. I don't know if there's real beefs like that. Like there's some, but I don't think it's real beefs, man. We have so much turnover in football. Like if I go to any team, like there's a coach that I played with, like that's coaching the team, or there's like 4 players that I played with, or like, so there's so many guys that I know, and even the guys that I've covered, it was all competitively. And like people know who I am. Like I'm secure in who I am. So I never really went out the way where I have a lot of that kind of trolling going on the field. There's a guy that's really dirty or whatever like that. Like that was handled in the game. Like if someone's not, like in football, you can hit people. So if someone's like doing some stuff that I don't like I'm able to finish that game. So it doesn't even bleed into the parking lot. That hasn't happened yet.
Do you feel like with technology advancing so far, we can see every position, every play? Do you feel like the game is a little less dirty because people know that you can see everything they're doing now?
I think the fines are so ridiculous.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, like I just saw a guy, you saw the buzzer beater the other day in the NBA. Bam hit a buzzer beater, and the guy just punted the ball in the crowd, right? I've never seen a basketball get punted in the crowd before. They fine him like $25K, right? Which is, that would be like $100,000. I mean, if we throw the ball in the crowd to like my wife, like $5,000. Like every time we score a touchdown, just toss the ball in the crowd, $5,000. Like why? I don't know. There's a bunch of footballs, but like the fines are so ridiculous. Like I never thought about, I'm gonna hit a guy. One, I don't like hitting the guys like taking their knees out. Like I don't believe in that. And then you took away the whole helmet to helmet, whole shoulder area hitting of defenseless receivers, right? So like where can you hit a guy? Like just here and here where he's most dense, and you're gonna take the worst of that blow. So I'd rather take that and do that than like end a guy's career and be dirty. So I literally am mindful when I'm out there, like, I'm just not trying to lose money today too. Like I could tackle guys, but like I'm not trying to lose $40,000 hitting this guy in his helmet. So it has changed how I've played because the fines are so ridiculous.
Final 3 questions.
Yeah. So in 2016, you guys in the Super Bowl with the Falcons.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone thinks that it's over at the half. Like it's just out of control. What happened in that locker room that just changed that entire game? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, man, I wish I had one for you on that question. Nothing, man. It was like, I remember Brady had his head down, and it was like we couldn't have played any worse. And it was kind of like this game we had with San Fran and the Lions this postseason. We had the biggest comeback in NFC Championship history, like 20 points or whatever. And nothing was really said. And we kind of just went out there like, bro, we can't play any worse. So we might as well go out there and kind of let it loose and kind of just go. And like, we're just in aggressive mode. Like, we're aggressive. We're throwing the ball every play. Defensively, we're calling way more of an aggressive comeback, kind of playing like with carefree, kind of. And I think the other team gets tense. I think the other team starts clock watching. I think they start kind of doing that end of a high school basketball game where you're just swinging around. They're not attacking. They're not running their offense anymore. So I think it's almost more what they do. They're letting their foot off the pedal, and we're kind of just like swinging and swinging and swinging, like nothing to lose. We're about to get knocked out anyway. And I think the other team's mentality is really what caused them to lose the game.
My teeth are all fake. When I first started to make some money, I got teeth. I bought my mom a place, and I got teeth because I never went to the dentist as a kid. So these are all fake. So when I see somebody with great teeth, which you have great teeth.
Yeah, Logan, you have really nice teeth, man.
And
thank you, guys.
Mine aren't real.
Yeah, mine aren't either.
They are. So when did you get them, and why? My motivation was I just wanted to look normal.
My teeth were never bad. I always had pretty good teeth, I thought. But I was wearing Invisalign because the NFL was giving like free Invisalign out to players. So I was wearing it. Then I'll take the Invisalign off when I'll be done, and my teeth would shift right back. And I knew one day, like I knew the value of like an expensive smile. I knew the value of a great smile. So I was like, instead of me buying jewelry and chains and watches, like I'm just gonna invest in my teeth. And so that's what I did. I did that in Tennessee after I got a big payday to go there. So probably like year 5, year 6, I was like, man, I'm investing in my teeth. And I see all these guys wear all this jewelry and have all these crazy watches and cars, but their teeth look terrible.
They all look
like,
British with a lot of jewelry.
You should invest in your teeth. And then they're like, well, I'm going to go to the Dominican and I'm going to get this like these chiclets in my mouth. And I'm like, bro, you're putting that in your body. Like you're going to get infections. So like you want to go cheap on your teeth, but you want to buy a $50,000 a watch or a chain that is going to appreciate in value. It blows my mind. So I was like, no, I'm going to put good stuff in my mouth.
Yeah, as I did.
Wow.
Literally, I was like, I'm going to do something on camera. So what's a better investment than one, trying to stay in shape, and two, my teeth? But A plus teeth. Final question: what are you gonna do now? Like, is there a chance you would go back and play next season? Build a media empire eventually. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, I don't have that answer for you today. Like, I think everything's up in the air. I'm very happy with my career. I'm happy with what I've done. I'm at peace with it. If I never played again, I'm cool. Like I said, I'm secure in who I am and what I've done. So that window is closing, I feel like, every year for me, and I'm cool with that. I think the media and just talking about ball, because I have a lot of experience in it, and I'm a storyteller by nature. I think there's always a future there. So I'm definitely interested in getting that started sooner than later.
Final question.
I got
Do you
one
get
more
all the
too.
free merch that you want? Because in college you don't. We go to a lot of even big Division I schools.
Yeah.
Depending on what school, they have different rules. But if you're playing with the Patriots, the Titans, the 49ers, and are they even different? Can you just request whatever you want, clothes-wise?
Yeah, some teams are different. So back in the day, when I say in the day, like when I first got to the NFL, like I think it just transitioned to Nike. So it was like Nike was paying guys a lot of money, like to be a Nike athlete. A lot of shoes, a lot of Jordans, a lot of this. Now Nike runs the NFL. They have the check on every uniform. So like they don't give that Nike merch out as much, So I think certain organizations, like a good organization, like New England's giving me a lot of stuff, and like San Fran's gives away a lot of stuff. Some other organizations a little more frugal with it. Like you got to show some holes in your sock and get a new pair of socks.
Do you have to buy it ever?
So your helmet and your jerseys from the year you have to buy. So if you want to keep your
crazy.
helmet after the year, it's like $500.
That's like Pop Warner football, dude. Same thing.
Yeah,
So
buy
we
your
had to buy our helmets for this show.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, let's say you want to, like, a sweatsuit.
Yeah.
You get one, and then you got to, like, if you want a
Yeah.
second one, that's trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, I see some staffers with some gear we don't have. I'm like, where'd you guys get that? Like,
That's
when that
crazy.
dropped? And they're like, oh, this is just for the staff, not for the players, because then everyone has to get it. So I think there's some stuff allotted. This all goes down in seniority, too. Like, hey, let me get another one. Like, Super Bowl, like this from the Super Bowl. I'm like, let me get another. Like, no, absolutely not. Like, this is Super Bowl stuff. There's only one per player. Like, Nike's not giving any more. So it kind of gets there. But yeah, like those jerseys we give away, those jersey swaps you see after the game, we're paying for that.
Oh, that costs money to swap?
$250. Just payroll deduct. So everybody was like, I need a signed jersey. I got to pay for that. It's not coming for free. And there's only a certain amount of them too. So I'm like, guys, I don't have that many. Like, it's not an unlimited source.
I was gonna ask for one, but I guess not then.
Yeah,
I get it.
man.
No,
There's your
Hey,
answer
for
right there.
$300, He's a smart businessman. For $300, he'll get you one.
Logan, last question. So, are you thinking about coaching like youth sports in the future too? Like, because it's funny. Like in where I live, Matt Castle, his
Yeah,
kid plays
I know
with my
Castle
kids.
well, yeah.
and he's always there on the sidelines, not coaching. He's sometimes not even watching the game because he's just kind of like, whatever. My son's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. Like, how are you as a parent with sports, and are you gonna coach?
Yeah, I mean, Castle has like 7 kids. He drives a Sprinter van.
He has a big van.
He drives a Mercedes Sprinter van every day to
Yeah,
work.
all the kids just come
with
out
no
of it.
kids, like at work. So I'm like, bro, that's weird. You drive that every day. I love the Sprinter. So like, yeah, love Matt Castle. I do coach my kids. So I coach my son's soccer team, and I actually left the mid-season, winter season or fall season, to go return to football. So the kids were a little upset about that. But when they saw me in the Super Bowl, they were happy. But we're on 3 seasons now, so I've been coaching my kids. And the only reason I became a coach is because a parent didn't show up. The coach didn't show up the first game. So I get there.
How does a coach not show
No,
up
it's
for the
not
first
gonna
game?
be-
I signed. It's like parent volunteer league.
That's the first game.
So
though.
I signed my son up, new league. They tell me he's good at soccer at school. I'm like, all right, buddy, we'll sign you up. We go there, jerseys on the ground, 0 through 8 or whatever. He gets a jersey that fits him. We're sitting there, we're all sitting down. Like, the game's supposed to start, and like, we don't have any parent, like, no coach. So they're like, hey, do one of you parents want to like volunteer and like just coach this game because we don't have it? So everyone looks at me like, you look athletic, why don't you coach? So I'm looking around like, all right, I'll coach. So me and my wife end up coaching the game. Then next week, our coach didn't show up again. So I'm like, nah, now we're letting these kids down. So I became the coach. From that game on, we're 24-0. We haven't lost a game in 3 seasons. Not that I'm keeping count.
Let's go.
And we got one more season left coming up here in the spring season, 6 or 8. The seasons are like 6 or 8 games, played Saturday mornings. And my son might retire, 30-0 this year or something. So.
You're not playing in the games with a record like that.
I
He's
know.
like sneaking in, shaving his face.
No, I mean, what happens is we show up with a boombox. We have good music. We have good vibes. We run plays. My son's pretty good. His friends are on the team. They request us. The parents can request the coach they want. So your team is 10 per team, right? And you have to play 5 at a time. So we do like hockey subs, right? And we had 15 requests this season because every parent's requesting my team. So now I'm picking based on the kids I know in the league. So now I have a loaded team.
Yeah.
No salary cap.
And I have this kid.
Unlimited,
I got this
dude.
new kid, and I mean, it's like having Messi and Mbappe on the same team right now. So now we're not losing. So now we're just, my son's about to go play O-line in the second half. He's got to go back in the goal after he has.
And obviously all the NIL money he can handle. Look at
Oh,
this.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting. My son got his own Instagram. You can see his soccer highlights.
Hey, we appreciate you having us out. Appreciate the time.
it, man.
Good to
Thanks,
see you,
Logan.
man.
Hey, thanks to Logan. That was awesome. The thrill and excitement of the tournament is here. DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps, is giving new customers a shot to turn $5 into $150 instantly in bonus bets with any college basketball bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code BobbySports. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the code BobbySports. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY, text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help's available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/bball for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. So we picked our teams in the March Madness Bake a Cake Challenge. Mm-hmm. The first team to lose has to bake a cake for every other person on this show. Now, that said, they have to come in every day with 4 other cakes. It's not one time you show up with all the cakes.
Oh.
You can do 2 and 2.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say Sunday might be a long day.
You can do 2 and 2. Whatever the case is. The problem, I'm not sure what week our show is renewed until, but we got to have them all in by then.
Okay, so we got a timeline.
So Mike D has picked Texas.
Oh, boy.
And if your team loses first of all the teams, you lose. Now, Mike, if you do Texas, but then tomorrow one of the other teams loses, that's the same because you guys lost in the same spot in the bracket.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant like time. I was like, Arizona plays early.
No. So
Okay.
same spot in the bracket. So Mike has picked Texas.
And they play Colorado
They play
State?
Colorado. On Thursday.
Colorado
just
State.
Today. Oh, Colorado State. Yes,
Colorado's in there too now.
That's true. That's true. Reed has chosen Auburn, who's playing Yale on Friday.
That's a good one.
I want to pick Kentucky. I have Kentucky. They're playing the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Oakland.
Got you.
They're playing Oakland Thursday. Kevin has Arizona versus Long Beach State, which we're all pulling for Long Beach State because that's the coach that's fired.
I'm not.
But a little bit.
Yeah, it's
That'd be
cool. It's a
cool.
cool story. Yeah.
And then Eddie has Shaka.
Shaka Smart with Marquette.
Marquette versus 15 seed Western Kentucky on Friday.
Should be good to go.
Man, that's fun. I hope. I don't want to lose, but it's hilarious if I don't lose. To me, it's hilarious if I don't lose. And you got to bake a cake and try to do a good job.
And you document the whole thing, right? You got to
You
film it
have
all?
to, so your like wife or girlfriend or whatever the case is didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Easy.
You say that.
You want me to lose, guys. I bake a good cake. A real good cake. You guys want it double deckered or do you want it just single like a regular?
I want anybody to lose. It's not me. I don't care if it tastes good, if it's terrible. Either way, our audience wins. So there you go. Two things I wanted to mention, both financially based.
Oh, got raises?
Got my attention.
No, Otani's interpreter was betting on the games.
Oh, yeah.
Crap, dude. I mean, you think there's more to the story?
There always is more to every story.
Okay.
It's will it come out and will they find that it's important enough to dig into it because the demand is there. You know they want it to go away. But the LA Dodgers interpreter for Otani was fired on Wednesday afternoon after questions surrounding $4.5 million in wire transfers sent from Otani's bank account to a bookmaking operation, which also, the question would be, this is just my question, not heard this question anywhere. So they fired his interpreter. Maybe the interpreter took the fall because, Otani was the one making the bets? But the interpreter was
Right.
like, yeah, it was me.
Because it's his account.
Right.
But yet they did throw a quote in there that says, Otani's never been on sports before.
The guy, a longtime friend and interpreter for Otani, incurred the gambling debts to a Southern California bookmaking operation. And why that gets a bit hairier.
It's illegal there.
There's no legal gambling in California.
Didn't know that.
So it's under federal investigation.
And we all know this guy, right? Like we've all seen him. I mean, I think
The interpreter?
All-Star game. Yeah. I mean, every time he says something, he's right next to him.
I thought you meant the bookie.
No,
If
no,
I'm
no.
the bookie,
I don't know
I'm like,
that.
God
My
dang,
buddy.
now we're in trouble.
Well, they were in trouble first.
But now we're in more trouble because everybody knows who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they ended up getting around to it. But I'm saying now it's like a big story. So
Or Bones, does it help them because now we know their name? So when they do legalize gambling, we'll be like, hey, where is?
no, because that's not how it works. You don't legalize bookies. You legalize places like DraftKings that you trust and that the government regulates.
Got it. My dad had a bookie growing up. He was the devil. His name was the devil. Well, that's what they called him, the devil.
Diablo?
Yeah, El Diablo. And what's funny about him, Bones, is that his truck, he'd always collect on. He did all the bets on the weekend. He'd collect on Monday morning. And sometimes I'd be home and his truck wouldn't go in reverse. So he would park on our yard. He couldn't go in the driveway. He would just park in our yard because I'm like, dude, use the driveway every time the devil came by. And he's like, I can't, man. My truck doesn't go in reverse. I'm like, but you're on our yard. Because we didn't live on a street.
Are you making enough money as the devil to buy a truck that goes in reverse?
Apparently not.
Maybe that was just his thing.
That's wild.
The devil only goes forward.
Yes.
He confirmed. So Mizuhara, I'm probably saying that wrong. That's the interpreter. Confirmed he was paid between $300,000 and $500,000 while working for the Angels. Mizuhara told ESPN his bets were placed on international soccer, the NBA, NFL, and college football. Quote, I never bet on baseball, Mizuhara said. That's 100%. I knew that rule. We have a meeting about it in spring training. He went on to say Otani had nothing to do with it. And if true, then okay. That they can handle their little you can't bet in California thing. That's our business.
But why was he using Otani's money?
He had to cover for him.
That's the problem. Like, okay, fine. You gambled on hockey, whatever. But why were you using his money?
What's the answer to that?
Because he said that he had to cover for him. Otani had to cover for him. And he said, well, he could have just given him the money.
What do you mean?
Like he couldn't pay his
collateral?
own debts. So Otani had to front the money for him, and they had to use it under his name and wire transfer.
So he would lose and couldn't pay for what he bet.
Mm-hmm.
So Otani had to send the money.
Hey.
Otani needs a different interpreter. I'd interpret that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's the other thing. I've never once in my life, ever, in the history of my life, as much as I'm on my phone, as much as I use my check card, my credit card, whatever the case is, I've never even been to the site.
Oh boy.
I checked my credit card points yesterday. I've never checked my credit card points. I've never
Ever?
Oh, if you've never checked them?
Guys, I didn't even know I had them. And they don't expire.
Yeah. Bro, we're going to Hawaii. We're going to do the show from Hawaii next week.
We're talking about years and years and years and years of accumulating points, not just for personal, I use my credit card for it, but like all work stuff I do. And I looked at it.
What's the number?
Well, I don't even know if the number will matter because I think probably all point systems are different, right?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, because they're already high. The number's already high. Like I think I have 20,000 points.
Got it. I have 3,200,000 points.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're going to Hawaii. Yep.
If I were to cash it in, because they won't give me cash, but if I were to go, I'll take gift cards.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah. A $30,000 gift card.
That's amazing.
It's a big gift card.
Where we going?
I didn't even know I had
Oh.
points.
Yeah. Take the money, dude. Forget Hawaii. Take the money.
There's no money. It's a gift card.
Yeah, that's money. I mean, just pay with everything with that.
I want to forget about it longer.
Yeah.
Just keep accumulating.
I could buy something though.
Do they give you one gift card, or is it like $30,100
That's a good
gift card?
question.
No,
Mike.
you can only get $100 ones,
Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of gift cards.
which is why I don't want to do it. It's $100 max gift card, but you can get up to $30,000. So let's say 10 would be 1,000. Now you got to do 30 of those. 30 times 10 is I need $3,000 gift cards,
I got that. 3,000.
and I don't want $3,000 gift cards.
Yeah, you don't want that. Let's just go to Hawaii.
I've never once checked my freaking balance, and I happened to go because I asked my business manager who like pays Eddie like when he does a show. I don't pay Eddie; it goes to an account, and she pays that all of us. I was like, "Hey, do I have any points or anything like that?" And she was like, "Yeah, and your credit card." And I was like, "Oh my god." She goes, "I said, do they expire?" She goes, "Not usually." I said, "Can you give me that login?" I logged in. And I saw the number and I was like, I wonder what 3 million gets you. I thought, like you have a bunch of tickets over at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
Yeah, get you a nice toy guitar or something.
yeah. You go to the little shop, the store there.
And that's what it was. Basically $30,000.
Wow, man.
So that's a pretty good spot. Good.
Congrats, man.
a pretty
Yeah,
good
dude.
spot.
That's really. Hey, it's cool to be you, dude.
It's not, I mean, I had to spend that money to get that money. I just didn't
Right.
know. It's not like I got it given to me.
Right.
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 All right, we're done.
right.
We're done. We're out of here. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Go.
Let's go. I gotta go,
Go
dude.
live your life. Watch your basketball.
Go.
Blow the whistle.
Hold on.
Bye, everybody.